What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Allison and today is a very exciting video because I'm filming my 2020 skincare and makeup favorites. 2020 was definitely an interesting year, but I feel like because of it, I was able to more easily narrow things down to the things that were my favorites and things that I constantly reach for despite it being a pandemic and not really going out as much. So yeah, it's always exciting to do these kinds of roundups and see what other people round up as their yearly favorites. I personally really like it when people compare their yearly favorites to previous years. And I did film a 2019 favorites video that I will link. So for this video, I'll be going over what were my favorites for last year and comparing it to now. So let's just start with skincare. I'm going to go over everything in kind of the order that I would apply it. For cleanser, my 2019 favorite cleanser was the Vanicream Gentle Cleanser. For 2020, we have a little bit of a change. I actually have two favorites. The first one, of course, is the Vanicream Gentle Facial Cleanser. And then the other one is actually a shampoo from Dr. Eddy's. It's the Cappy Medicated shampoo and body wash that has zinc pyrithione in it. I've recommended this cleanser on my channel time and time again, and at this point I honestly don't really feel the need to try anything else. It does exactly what I want it to. It's nice and gentle, never breaks me out, doesn't strip the skin, and it's really what I think all facial cleansers should be like. I recommend this to anyone who has sensitive skin. Honestly, anyone who has like great skin in general. It doesn't have any of those extra bells and whistles that you really don't need or want in your cleanser. So that is definitely the most used cleanser of the year for me. If you're wondering, I do use micellar water to take off my makeup, but I wouldn't really recommend it. And I'm mostly just trying to use up what I have and then possibly move on to some sort of oil cleanser. But besides that, I really did want to give a shout out to the Dr. Eddy's Zinc Pyrithione shampoo. This has 0.95% pyrithione zinc in it, and it's completely fungal acne safe. I really like that I don't have to worry about this product at all when I use it. I don't know the exact differences between different antifungal agents, but I do really like zinc pyrithione because you don't have to worry about developing any antifungal resistance. I think this works the best when your fungal acne bumps are as close to the surface as possible. I find that this works really effectively at kind of exfoliating them, and it is a little bit drying. I probably wouldn't use it every day, but I've been using it pretty frequently lately and I haven't had any issues. For serums and treatments, I had a couple of favorites in 2019, including the Dr. CeraVe Vita Propolis Ampule, the L'Oreal Paris 10% Pure Vitamin C Serum, and the Stridex Salicylic Acid Pads. For 2020, honestly, I kept my skincare really simple, and I really didn't find a need for any extra serums like that. I guess I could say that because my skin is in a better state now, I don't really need those extra actives. But yeah, I mean, I did use like another one of those Propolis ampules, and I didn't notice a huge difference. It was just kind of a nice extra bonus step, but I definitely wouldn't say it's a must-have. The only treatment product that I wanted to give a shout out to this year is the Humane Clarifying Toner. This has 2% salicylic acid, which is the same amount that is in the Stridex Maximum Strength pads. I don't know what it is exactly, but I do feel like the Stridex pads are a little bit more effective and stronger, but they are also more irritating, so I didn't really want to keep using them. I find this Humane toner to be really gentle, haven't had any issues with it, and I personally find that salicylic acid really helps my skin out because I do get a lot of that congestion with the fungal acne. The next step and category in my skincare is hydrators. So for 2019, my favorite product was the Hada Labo Gokujyun Premium Lotion. And for 2020, that is still also my favorite product. But I did want to add the Laneige Cream Skin Toner to the mix. I know this product is not fungal acne safe, but I was using it for a couple of weeks and I really liked it. So I'm hoping in the near future I can start trying to use it again and hopefully I don't break out. But the Hada Labo Premium will always be one of my holy grail products. It's so affordable. I think this product is like $10 to $15 and I bought a couple of refills. It lasts such a long time and it's such a nice, thick, nourishing hyaluronic acid serum. It also has urea in it, which is really beneficial to those with fungal acne. I actually heard that they reformulated this, so I haven't tried the new formula, but hopefully it isn't too different. Okay, next up is moisturizer. So for 2019, my favorite moisturizers were the Hada Labo Skin Plumping Gel Cream and the KraveBeauty Oat So Simple Water Cream. For 2020, my favorites are the Oat So Simple Water Cream. I talk about this product nonstop, and it's just a product that I always go back to. And then the other favorite moisturizer that I've actually started using regularly this year is the CeraVe Moisturizing Cream. I've heard so much about this cream, and I'm so glad that I started using it. I really feel like I've noticed a transformation in the dryness of my skin over the past couple of months. It's winter now and I typically have a lot more dryness, but I feel like this moisturizer has just really helped beef up my moisture barrier. I love that it has all these ceramides in it. And I feel like the best thing about this moisturizer is that it not only adds the hydration that your skin needs, it adds all of the things that actually help strengthen your moisture barrier. So for the longest time, I was worried that this product would break me out. I think it has like an asterisk or something on Simple Skincare Science, but I think that's because it has fatty acids or fatty alcohols, and I've used it enough at this point to know that it doesn't aggravate my fungal acne. So yeah, I think this is a great product. The texture of it isn't my favorite. It's not as light and airy and smooth as the KraveBeauty water cream. This one is quite thick and I have to take a little bit more time to apply the right amount and rub it in and stuff, but I mean, it's totally worth it. This is actually a new bottle. I like to buy the ones with the pump on it, and this 16-ounce container is like 15 bucks, whereas this less than 3-ounce container is close to 30 bucks. Yeah, these are definitely both favorites for the year. All right, next up for skincare. For 2019, my favorite sunscreen was the APU Subuji Sun Cotton SPF 50 PA Quadruple Plus. I've actually replaced that one with a new favorite, and for 2020, my favorite sunscreen is the DRMTLGY Anti-Aging Sunscreen. I'm currently using the one with the universal tint and I really like it, but the regular untinted one is great as well. I really like the sunscreen. I heard about it from Dr. Dre on YouTube, and I believe this is supposed to be a dupe of the Elta MD sunscreen, but I don't know if it's just the ingredients, but I do find that the texture of the two are pretty different. The Elta MD was a bit more of a thicker cream, and the DRMTLGY one, I would say, has a little bit more of a serum-like texture. I find that it's really easy to spread and I really like the finish that it gives to my skin. I would definitely recommend this product to anyone who hasn't really discovered a sunscreen favorite or hasn't really tried any nice sunscreens. I'm trying to make it my goal in life to convince everyone around me to wear sunscreen every day, and I think this is a really great option for everyone. Lastly, for skincare related stuff, I wanted to talk about my favorite lip balm. For 2019, I actually didn't mention one, but I'm pretty sure that my favorites were the Laneige Lip Glowy Lip Balm and the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask. For 2020, I actually really haven't felt the need to use my Bite Agave Lip Mask. I'm not sure if it's because I'm not going outside as much during the winter, so my lips and stuff aren't getting as dried out, but yeah, I'm not complaining. My favorite of the year is definitely the Laneige Lip Glowy Lip Balm. I am almost out of this product and I really should just finish it up, but I've been kind of going through my other lip balm stash just to use those up before I buy another one of these. But I just love these so much. I really like the applicator. They really nourish the skin and provide all the moisture that I need, and it makes your lips look nice and glossy, so these are a plus in my book. All right, that is it for my skincare, and let's move on to the makeup favorites of the year. So my first up is always concealer, and for 2019, my favorite was the Tarte Creaseless Under Eye Concealer. I really loved that concealer for a while, but that one has definitely been replaced by the Kosas Revealer Concealer, and this is honestly just my perfect everyday concealer. It just provides the perfect amount of coverage and hydration that makes me feel really put together, but still looks really natural. I just really like how it sits on your skin and on the under eyes. And then I also can't leave out the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer. It's interesting because I can kind of see the timeline of my makeup favorites throughout the year. For the first couple of months of the year, I was really sticking to a full fungal acne safe makeup routine, and the NYX concealer is definitely my favorite fungal acne safe concealer that I found. I use the shade Vanilla, and the texture of the concealer isn't the most user-friendly, I would say. It's not super creamy and easily blendable, but again, my favorite part about the concealer is just how it sat on the skin and how it looked really natural but still gave me the coverage that I wanted. I was using this all over the face for a while and it did work really well for me. A little bit dry under the eyes, but not too bad. And nowadays I use both of these concealers together. The Kosas one is for like my eyes down, and then I use the NYX concealer on my forehead because that is where I get my fungal acne. For foundation, my 2019 favorite was the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation. I honestly haven't used that product in a while. For 2020 in general, I would say that I do not have a foundation favorite. I've never really been a big foundation person, and now that I feel like my acne scarring is in a pretty good place, I really do just prefer the look of using concealer to just color correct. For powder, this is another category that I really didn't use much this year. There is really no reason to set my makeup and make it last all day. So for 2019, my favorite was the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I still really like that one. It's still probably my favorite one. but I would say that I don't have a favorite for the year. For brows, my 2019 favorite was the Uemura Hard Formula Eyebrow Pencil and the Glossier Boy Brow. For 2020, my favorites were the e.l.f. I don't actually remember the name of this product, but it's the e.l.f. Brow Pomade Cream. Again, the Uemura Eyebrow Pencil and the Cosmetics Brow Cream. So the e.l.f. product definitely falls in the timeline where I was sticking to fungal acne safe makeup products, and I wasn't aware of any fungal acne safe brow pencils, so I was left with using this pomade product. And there was a little bit of a learning curve with using this. This product is really pigmented, but honestly, once I got the hang of using this product, I actually really enjoyed using it, and I really liked how my brows came out with it. However, for the second half of this year, I definitely reverted back into using my Uemura pencil and a brow gel. I just find this method to be a lot more easy and quick. I don't think I've sharpened the Uemura pencil since last year, and there is still so much of it left. The only downside to this product is that it doesn't have a spoolie attached to it, but it's not a big deal. A lot of these spoolies on my other eyebrow pencils have broken off anyway. But this is definitely my favorite eyebrow product that I've tried just because of how natural it looks on me. It's not a super pigmented eyebrow pencil. I find it to be really soft, and it actually kind of gives the effect of filling in your brows with powder. But because of that, I find that I don't even have to brush out my brows that much after I apply the pencil. I also find that this color is perfect for my brows. It could be because this is a Japanese brand, but I just find that a lot of brow pencils are either very like grayish, cool toned black, or like a really dark, warm brown color. And neither of those are my actual hair color. So this one is just like a really nice, deeper, ashier brown color. The Cosmetics Brow Cream is definitely still my favorite of the year. My favorite thing about this product is definitely the applicator. It just picks up the perfect amount of product, and the applicator is so thin that it just makes it really easy to comb through your brows really precisely and place them where you want them to be. Okay, so this is where I usually put on my bronzer. So for 2019, my favorite bronzers were the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer and the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow Duo. This is where my favorites are probably going to start differing the most. I have a completely new set of bronzer favorites. The first product is my favorite from the before COVID period, and this is the Huda Beauty Tantour. I have mine in the shade Fair, and this is just a really nice cream bronzer. I find that it has more of a powdery finish than most cream bronzers, but that just makes it super easy to blend out, and it also lasts longer on the skin. Definitely, in my opinion, one of the best cream bronzers out there, regardless of it being fungal acne safe or not. After COVID started, there was a period where I really wasn't wearing any makeup for a while, and in the summertime I started to pick things up again. So this bronzer is from my very summery natural makeup phase, and it is the Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Cream Bronzer. I actually have it in 2 shades, but I really liked the shade 3 Macchiato for the summertime because it has a little bit more warmth to the skin. I really like this bronzer for that really pretty, natural, seamless, and kind of like translucent and dewy skin look. I find that this bronzer does have a lot of that translucency to it, so you can still see your skin underneath it, but it just adds that really nice seamless color. And then now as we headed into the fall and winter, I've definitely been wearing a lot more makeup recently and having a lot more fun with it. And this one is kind of cheating because I did get it pretty recently, but the Nabla Skin Bronzing Powder in the shade Ambra is definitely my new favorite bronzer. There is just something about it that makes me reach for this all the time. This is the one that I'm wearing on my skin today. It's hard to ignore the shiny border in the pan, but you can definitely see that the product has some sheen to it in the pan. I don't actually find that that shine translates on the cheeks. Like when I'm looking at my bronzer, I don't really see a sheen to it. The sheen just makes it blend into your skin really nicely and kind of emulate the look of a cream. I find that most powders that are supposed to give a luminosity and a sheen often have a bit of like a pearl in it, which isn't always my favorite if the product is still powdery. But I find that the Nabla powder just has enough of that creaminess to it where it doesn't look powdery, it just blends really nice and sits well on the skin and more so emulates the look of a cream. I also really like the color of this shade Ambra. When these first came out, I thought this was going to be a lot warmer, but I actually find that it has a really nice neutral undertone that still gives me a nice bronzed look, but isn't so warm that I wouldn't want to use it in the winter. Okay, for blush, 2019 was definitely the year where I expanded my blush collection and I had a lot of favorites. We had the Flower Beauty Blush Balm Color Drops, a Nude Sticks Nudies color, a Clinique Cheek Pop in Fig Pop, some MAC Extra Dimension blushes, and the 3CE Mood Recipe Face Blush. So funnily enough, most of those are actually not in my 2020 favorites. For 2020, my favorite cream blushes were still the Nude Sticks Nudies matte colors, but I use these more towards the beginning of the year, so I actually have new colors in my favorites. My most used one was definitely the one in the shade in the nude. I find this one to be just the perfect peachy nude brown color, and I use this one a ton. These are also fungal acne safe, I believe, so was really happy to find that out. And then I picked up a couple of new shades this summer, and my favorite one that I picked up was the one in the shade Salty Siren. This one is just like the perfect coral color. My next favorites are the MAC Glow Play blushes, and I feel like these were one of the more exciting launches of the year. I think they came out this year, and I'm so glad that these didn't end up just being a fad and that I actually really do love all of these colors. I have it in the shade So Natural, which is a really perfect everyday peachy color. This one in the shade Cheer Up is probably one of my most unique colors in my collection. It's a lot more pink and a little bit more bright than I typically gravitate towards, and I really love this one for spring. And then lastly, I also have it in the shade Grand, which is a bit more of a deeper, rosier color. This one actually came completely broken, but I'm actually kind of glad because I got to keep this color for free, and I actually reached for the shade quite a bit. And then my last blush favorite of the year is still the Clinique Cheek Pop blushes. In particular, this palette has definitely become one of my favorites. It's the holiday palette that came out this year, and they come out with a couple of different ones, but this one was sold at Sephora, and it has pink honey, black honey, and this is one of their limited edition gold highlighters. I have quite a few of the individual Cheek Pop blushes, so I was really excited that they came out with a palette that didn't have any of the shades that I owned, and I really do love and use every single shade in here. This powder highlighter is actually really similar to one of my favorite individual highlighters that I'll be talking about, and it's just such a pretty gold color. My favorite thing about all of these blush formulas is that they look really natural and pretty on the skin. They don't have any powderiness, and they have a little bit of, again, that translucency where you can still see a little bit of your skin underneath, and they just have a little bit of glow to them. For highlighter, my 2019 favorites were the Essence Pure Nude highlighter, the Essence Pure Nude Sunlighter, the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter, and the ColourPop Super Shock in On the Cusp. Again, I have a completely different set of favorites this year. My first favorite and my fungal acne safe favorite is the Glossier Play highlighter. This is their Night Shine highlighter in the shade Pale Pearl. Again, it took me a little bit to figure out how I liked to apply this product, but once it did, I really liked the effect that it gave to the skin. It is pretty intense and has quite a bit of that pearl in it, but when you just put it on the high points of your face, I find that it gives a really pretty shine that isn't too metallic or texture enhancing or anything like that. Just very dewy and nice. I might have missed it. I'm kind of surprised that this one isn't on my 2019 favorites, but this is definitely a favorite for 2020. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This one is my favorite because it's just so versatile and really easy to use. It looks more like a foundation in the bottle, but once you put it on the skin, it's so reflective, so dewy, and it doesn't have quite as much pearl as the Glossier one, but it does reflect so much light, and I feel like this is the perfect product for that glass skin look. It's so pretty. You could wear this under foundation, mixed in, or on top, which is what I usually do. And then for powder highlight, my favorite is the Nabla Skin Glazing Highlighter. It's from the same line as their bronzer, but the highlighters and the blushes definitely do have a lot more of that pearl and almost shimmer to it. These baked formulas are always my favorite for powder highlighters because I find that they just look the nicest on top of skin. They don't have a powdery finish, and they have a really smooth, pretty shine. This one is in the shade Amnesia, and it's a really pretty champagne color, really similar to the Amrezy highlighter, which is why I actually ended up decluttering that one. And then for eyeshadow, for 2019, my favorite eyeshadow palettes were the NARS Wanted palette, the Anastasia Sultry palette, and the Pat McGrath Mothership 6 Midnight Sun palette. Definitely got some different favorites here. I wasn't feeling super inspired with eyeshadow very much for the majority of this year. The first palette that actually got me excited again was the Melt Cosmetics Rust palette. I just really loved the tones in this palette for fall and really enjoyed using it. The colors are beautiful and the shadows are really high quality. However, like most palettes, I really only used a couple of the shades. I pretty much used these four right here in the middle, which leads me to my next favorite. Towards the end of this year, I really fell in love with the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow quads, and I really built up my collection this Black Friday. So I know these quads are stupid expensive. You don't get a lot of product in here at all, but I just find that the way that they're set up, the colors and the finishes just really suit my eyeshadow preferences. These are two of my favorites. Right here we have Golden Goddess, and this one is Fire Rose, which was a limited edition holiday palette for this year. And neither of these palettes are a very groundbreaking color combination or anything, but I just find them so easy and fun to use. The shadows are really nice quality, and she actually doesn't have many mattes in her quads at all, which I actually kind of enjoy. I really like shimmery shades and metallic and glittery shades, and I find that her shimmer formula looks beautiful all over the eye, even in the crease. I also kind of like that the colors aren't too crazy pigmented and there isn't too deep of a color in these palettes. There's definitely enough to give some depth to a look, but I personally don't ever use those super dark colors or black eyeshadow or anything, and these shades just always add enough smokiness and definition for my daily wear. So again, this one is Fire Rose, and this one is actually probably my favorite. I would say that this one is a little bit more pigmented and intense than some of the other palettes. You have a really nice kind of bronzy rose shade right here, which is my favorite. This matte is really nice and not too pigmented. All of her quads have what's called a pop shade, and this one is actually a super pop formula, so super glittery and intense and beautiful. And today for my eyeshadow, I actually combined the Fire Rose palette with this one, which is the Bella Sofia. She did a bunch of renaming for her palette, so this one actually used to be called Dolce Vita, and I know this is one of her like most popular quads. This one is just like a really gorgeous bronzy palette, and then this one has a bit more rosy metallic tones in it. And then again, this last one is called Golden Goddess. I really like this palette because I find that a lot of the more coppery warm tone browns in a lot of the palettes that I have aren't actually my favorite, and these lean a lot more cool toned and a lot more neutral, and I actually really like it for a daily basis. For eyeliner, I had one favorite in 2019, and it was the Hero & Make brown liquid eyeliner. For 2020, I've been using the M Cosmetics brown brush tip eyeliner, and I would say that they're honestly probably really similar, but I do really like this eyeliner from M Cosmetics. I find that it hasn't dried out, the brush is still really nice, and the color and pigmentation are really nice. I pretty much use this eyeliner every day that I put on makeup, and it's still going strong. My favorite mascaras in 2019 were the Hero & Make Volume and Curl, both the Super Waterproof and Advanced Film, and the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. I don't have Lash Paradise with me, but that is still another one of my favorites for 2020. The Hero & Make is still another favorite for this year. I think I narrowed down that my favorite one is the Volume and Curl Super Waterproof one. And then I do have a new favorite for this year, which is the L'Oreal Bambi Eye Mascara. This one is actually a surprise. I'm wearing it on my lashes today, and my lashes have seen better days, to be honest, but I have really liked the effect that this mascara has given me. The wand is plastic and not my favorite. I find that it doesn't pick up very much product, so it takes a while to build it up, but because of that, it keeps my lashes nice and separated, and once I do build it up, I feel like my lashes look nice and fluttery and have a little bit of a different effect than the Hero & Make and the L'Oreal one. Alright, last category, my voice is starting to give out, but for 2019, my favorite lip products were the ColourPop Just a Tint Lip Crayon in the shade Cherry Pickin', Kosas Wet Lip Oil Gloss in Dip, and the Glossier Lip Gloss in Red. So I still think all of those lip products are great, but I really haven't reached for them lately. I typically don't wear lip products at all very much throughout the year, but I do have two standouts that I wanted to mention. The first one being the Tower 28 lip glosses and the MAC lip liner in the shade Strip Down. So I'm currently wearing Strip Down and the Tower 28 gloss in Cashew. I feel like I kind of discovered the purpose of lip liner this year. I've had Strip Down in my collection for a while, and I just really love the shade of it. It's the perfect brown lip liner that isn't too brown or too dark, and I find that it's just like a really nice neutral color to outline my lips with. And then the Tower 28 lip glosses are just so good. I love the texture of them, and anytime that I really wanted to put on a lip product, I would reach for these. Overall, I think I prefer the milky line a little bit more. I think I would just reach for those colors a lot more often, and they have a little bit more color payoff to them. My favorite is definitely Cashew. It's just like the perfect rosy brown color. And then from their regular lip jelly line, the shade Fire is one of my favorites. I almost wish that this gloss just had a little bit more pigment because I love the color of this one so much, and on the lips it just looks like a nice coral gloss. But overall, you really can't go wrong with any of the colors from Tower 28. I don't have quite the entire collection of colors, but if I had them all, I would probably wear all of them. Alright, that is it for my 2020 skincare and makeup favorites. 2020 was definitely a weird year, but I had a really fun time looking back on all the products that I loved and comparing it to last year. I'm really grateful for everything that I got to try and experience this year, and this is always a fun way to wrap up the year. Leave me a comment if any of these made it to your favorites of the year, and I will see you in my next video. Happy New Year, everyone!